I facilitated the workshop called Pantha Rhei, which means all flows, and it comes from the Old Greek Heraclitus said, you never step twice into the same river. What was my intention? It was to support participants that through simple movement and sensing their own body, they could discover this flow of interaction and interchange, being aware of their own needs and their own flow, but again not to lose the connection with the world. This was meant for professionals, educators, also dancers. I think for everybody who would like to gain a new perspective and to learn something about how they can connect with themselves and also how they can use that connection and different ways of being and seeing to develop communication with the world. This is what I also always say in the beginning. So it's important to take care of yourself, to be gentle with yourself. It's important to take care of other people and be gentle with them. And it is also important to know that if you are gentle and take care, you cannot do nothing wrong.
Today we were working with different qualities of movement that is actually connected to our personal life. Movement, we can recognize these patterns in our life. So, and we also can recognize which movement are good to us and we like them, and we can also recognize which movement are a little bit afraid of, or which movement is not good, so we can, but actually we need it sometimes in our life to have a more balance in our life with movement. That's what movement actually can do. And also the reason for I did the drawing is because before the words, drawing can be good to the unconsciousness to come up to a surface before you can put words on it. So that's why I did it that way. This is for youth and for youth workers, people or students that are meant to, that have these sort of, I want to work with people in my future work. It can be psychology student, pedagogic, or that kind of young people.
In this session, participants discovered how to express emotions through our nonverbal language and how we can dance and communicate even if we don't hear music. Body percussion, breathing, playing with space, time, weight and flow were some of the tools used to discover, feel and express the emotions in our bodies and create our own dances.
There is a research project called Moving Feminists, and it has